Hey, what's going on, tribe? So in today's video, I'm actually taking my dog for a walk. Actually, this is Atua's dog, but I am taking her for a walk while he's gone. And I do that pretty much every day. She loves to go down to the beach and just kind of sniff everything, and how can I complain? Just walking at the beach. Not surfing today. You know, one of the things I've learned is if I have an ache or a pain or an injury that starts to flare up or something, I just say, hey, you know what? Chill out, rest, but do something else. So I was thinking about it, and so in today's video I kind of wanted to hit on a subject because people have asked me, and I think it's something we all deal with, and it's basically how to motivate, whether it's to go surfing, I guess in this context, motivate yourself to get out there, go surfing, go swimming, walking, whatever it is, when you're feeling fat, lazy, depressed, all the above. One or more or all the above. I can say that I've been in pretty much any one of these categories or more at one time. When I was very young, I remember there was a time in my life when I was basically homeless with my family, and I was embarrassed about it, and I didn't want anybody to know, and I was depressed for a while. But like I said in a previous video, it kind of lowered my barrier for what makes me happy and content, which I think is a good thing ultimately. Plus there was a lot of adventures in that time. Another time when I quit drinking, I was a pretty heavy drinker, and I went through a time where I stopped drinking that, and I definitely became very lazy, and there was a period of time where I felt depressed because I had all this, I'd use alcohol as basically a fun vehicle. I didn't know how to have fun without it. It took me a while to figure that out. And during that time, I started eating a ton of sugar and I got really lazy. And then, I always came back to surfing, but then later, and if you guys have watched videos in the past, I had a moment where I actually got my weight went up to about 240 pounds. And that's when I hurt my knee, because I was just under 240, and I was surfing and I did a floater, and I wasn't used to that extra body weight. And I came down, blew out my left knee, and then it's still not 100%. I did get stem cells in there. But then after that, about a year or two down the road of constantly, it took me 6 months to be able to walk again on my left and get it back to normal. I never went and got an MRI, I never got surgery, but it just kind of came back. But then I babied my right knee so much that that's where I ended up having the big problem that became chronic. And then I started to get a Baker cyst, all that. And during these times, I've had, these moments where I just had to get myself back into it and just get moving. I remember there was a time when I was just like, I felt like I wasn't gonna be able to do anything. I was done. I was like, okay, I guess that's it for me. Surfing's over. But in time, things heal, and you remotivate and you get back out there. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is, since COVID, and I looked up the stats, and in 2021, I guess there was a big rise in suicides, especially male suicides over the age of 50. And in the last year and a half, there has been quite a few suicides that I was aware of just here, like in and around my area. And like a few of them were people that I knew really well, or were even friends. And it kind of happens out of nowhere. You don't even know that they're going through something. This is definitely something that's starting to happen more, at least maybe I'm more aware of it, because as I get older, I'm paying attention. Maybe when you're young, you don't ever think you're going to get old, so you don't really pay attention to that. You don't think about it. And then you start seeing it happen around you, and it's kind of like shocking. But anyways, I wanted to talk about motivating, and how do I do it? How do I get out of these slumps? Because I know a lot of people find themselves into it. So the first thing I would say is you got to get moving. You got to get out of bed and you got to move. As simple as just walking down the block and back, going for a little swim. No excuses. There's always an excuse. You just have to take no excuses. Whether it's go to the gym, go for a walk, or just drop and do a few push-ups, and then do it again and keep doing it. Or do a challenge where you do 100 push-ups every day, or 20 push-ups a day, or you start with 5 push-ups every day, and every day you add 1 push-up. just anything that will get you going, whether you want to do it or not. Sometimes you have to make a challenge. I found that works for me. So just basically moving and making it happen. The second thing that really has helped me a lot is getting rid of toxins and poisons and stuff in my diet. We all know this, it's a no-brainer, but I don't know why more people don't do it. And it's just like, just do it. I think an easy way to do it is just to start skipping like one meal. So you only do 2 meals, or in my case, I only do 1 meal a day. And start to basically value your food a little bit more, so that when you do eat, you try to get healthy stuff and stop snacking throughout the day. That's another killer that I had to get rid of, is that constant snacking and snacking at nighttime. I would do that when everybody go to sleep. I would find myself in the kitchen just snacking at 2 in the morning, and it became a routine. It was like an alarm would go off in my head, and it was like, oh, time to go to the kitchen and snack. And I would end up, and that's one of the reasons why I gained a bunch of weight. I'm happy to say that with this 1 meal a day, I'm down to about 215 from my highest of 240, where I was kind of stuck at around 228, 230 for a few years, and I finally broke that cycle. The third thing, aside from removing things like toxins and processed foods and stuff like that, I would say is you got to always train your mind to believe that you can improve and you can get better. I talked about this in the last video, is even though I'm getting older, I keep this mindset that I can get better at something in surfing. Maybe I'm not as athletic, maybe I'm not as strong, maybe I'm not as fast, I don't have the reflexes I used to, but maybe I can develop more flow, or I can, really work on my style, and I can be that older guy that just looks really cool surfing down the wave and connecting everything and just finding waves. There's always something you can improve at, no matter what your age is. So that's the thing, is the mindset. And then there's tons of stuff on YouTube. Instead of watching all this garbage, on YouTube or whatever, Netflix, whatever, watch stuff that's actually improving you, whether it's training or going through master classes or working on your psychology, all that kind of stuff. And that's it, really. It's that simple. It's just, you got to just do it and make it happen. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to do a quick video. I'm going to do more videos like this. I think I'll hit on another topic I want to, which is about pain and injuries and stuff like that, because you guys have wanted to hear more about this kind of stuff, because I've been doing things like biohacking and so on and so forth. But anyways, guys, get a routine, get it going. Just work one step at a time, one day at a time. You can always get better. You can always improve and motivate, surf, and just keep trying to get better against yourself. You compete against yourself, not everybody else around you. So until the next video, guys, pura vida and aloha.